you came along.
But he was born in, Detroit area, Royal Beaumont, in 1976. He went to Roper in early years. As an elementary school, he went to Roper. And then in middle school and high school, he went to Cranbrook. He graduated in June of 1994. He was accepted at University of Michigan, of course, with Princeton, Yale, Stanford, and Harvard. He got sick in October of 1992. We found out that what he had, it was the day of the fall conclave, out in Orton. We had driven him back there for the evening because he had to take off that day because he had to have some tests. And he went back. He went back to his friends, and he had to tell them afterwards what he had. For the next 2 years, he was in and out of the hospital quite often. He'd go to the hospital, get a chemo treatment. But during that time, he graduated with honors. He loved basketball. He started out to be BYO coordinating the basketball. Jolson ACA. He was Gisborne. He was elected. Yeah, he was selected when he already he was in 93. He was the Aleph Gadol. He passed away September 29, 1994. Want him to remember who was a good friend, special, great spirit, but all done with, being friendly and kind and good humor. He could have been anything.
So the chapter really came to be in, I want to say, January of 99, which is when I got a phone call from Adam Schlesinger, who became ultimately Shapiro's first president. He was breaking away, if you will, from Posen AZA at the time. Ultimately, the group kind of latched on to Evan Shapiro as somebody that kind of looked up to and thought was just a fascinating and awesome human being from everything that we heard and learned, and felt that it would be an appropriate name for a chapter that, admittedly, being from the Metro Detroit area, having the 313 in there felt pretty sweet too.
Joining Shapiro was and still is one of the best decisions I've made in my life. It's a great chapter to be in. Those factors include the chapter members, the activities that we have, the people in charge of running events, and the members are easily one of the greatest factors that makes the chapter great. And when I joined in 8th grade, I was new to the group, and I was new to this group of people who were very close to each other. But they made it very easy for me to feel like I was a part of their group, even though I was younger than them, even though I was new. And they treated each other with respect. They treated me with respect. They're understanding. They included me in activities and just overall made me feel welcome. And it only took me, going to a few events to feel like I belonged. And the people of the chapter are definitely some of the most accepting people I've ever met, and by far the greatest aspect of the chapter.
It was actually created while he was still alive but sick. Our friends, Debbie and Mickey Stern, whose daughter was actually a Nasia, and who was about a year or two younger than Evan, and Evan had a great impact on her and had great influence on her getting involved in BBYO. So in his last year of life, the Sterns established the award in his honor.
That you folks will get as much out of BBYO and put as much back into it as he did.
It's awesome to see the chapter still here functioning, doing awesome things and touching people's lives. And it's a lot less of what I did for the chapter and more about what it did for me.
We would like his memory to live forever, and the only way somebody lives is in the memory of others and by talking about it. Forgetting that he ever lived is the worst thing we could do. And that's where the chapter can also accomplish something. Here was a young man who achieved a lot in his short life and, touched a lot of lives. And the best way to keep that kind of good person's memory is by the chapter going on and continuing.
It's a better place since you came along.